In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. Today, I'm pleased to introduce David Levine, the founder and CEO of ResTech Solutions. With over 2 decades of experience in technology and business leadership, David has established himself as a trusted expert in cybersecurity and IT strategy for small businesses. He's made significant contributions to the industry, being a finalist for the MSP Titans of Industry Awards in the legal services category for 2024 and 2025, and earning compliance certificate alongside Galactic Trust Level 1 status for excellence in cybersecurity. Today, David is focused on practical applications of artificial intelligence, aiming to help businesses automate tasks and enhance operational efficiency, all while fostering human creativity and strategic thinking. Let's dive into this critical and crucial topic. David, thank you so much for spending some time with me today.
Oh, well, thank you.
And congrats on being recognized as one of the leaders in cybersecurity and IT strategies. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so you've been doing this for a long time. You've seen a few of these little mini bubbles come and go through small business. What do you notice about that's different about this AI interest from previous changes in IT and security?
Yeah, so what we're seeing with AI and just in a lot of the conversations we've had, even just this year alone, is businesses are more willing to jump into this, a lot quicker than I think anything that's come out in the past, as they're realizing there's a lot of advantages it can have for businesses. And probably the biggest trend we're seeing right now is businesses looking at it, how can we streamline and reduce overhead and just make things more efficient and automate as much as we can to free up our human resources for more higher level tasks.
Yeah, and then what sort of automations are you working on with clients right now?
So I got one client right now specifically that we're working with that is truly embracing AI. And they do a lot in the realm of distribution. So they have an ERP system they work with, trying to track a lot of inventory and trying to find ways to utilize AI to, evaluate a lot of large data sets, streamline these different Excel files and maybe looking at to determine, certain types of data, what's going on within the environment. So that's kind of where they're focused. And I know there's kind of more coming down the pipeline in the next couple months in terms of what they want to do to be able to even automatically take documents, extract certain data. And so those can actually be attached to the appropriate element right within their ERP system. So everything's right there in one place and really streamline essentially the paper trail and the paperwork.
That's cool. And then are there certain tools that you're focused on using when you're developing these kind of solutions?
So I'm kind of advising the clients. A lot of my clients are kind of spearheading, like this particular client, they've started using Microsoft Copilot since they do a lot within 365 and they utilize
Sure.
that tool. I have another client in commercial real estate, and there's one of the individuals there who's really spearheading AI and looking at ways to, from my understanding, is help it with finding these properties, whether it's for investment or trying to help, lease it or sell it for their clients. And there's a whole bunch of data on the back end that they're going to try and get AI to, crunch and massage to kind of get the output that they're looking for. Those are just some high level examples that clients have kind of taken on their own and then are bringing us in to advise and help guide them on how to, effectively use and implement AI and, keeping in mind, the cybersecurity side of it in terms of how to keep their data safe and making sure we got privatized instances of tools to protect sensitive information. But as I mentioned earlier, in a much larger trend, we've actually been having a lot of conversations lately with legal practices, and the trend I'm seeing in that industry specifically is firms are looking at ways of using AI to streamline a lot of their operations and help to reduce overhead. Because I am seeing a trend there of trying to keep costs low for their clients, so they don't have to keep raising fees. Because I know right now, especially with our economy, that's a huge thing. So that's, I know, one area businesses are really looking at AI to help improve, and even as another way to just keep more clients coming in through the door.
Yeah. And then what about at ResTech Solutions? What are you automating? Or what's on your automation list right now?
So right now, I'm still focused a lot on fine tuning AI to use it for helping on the marketing side, as I'm still a one-man show. So always looking for ways to streamline and better hone my messaging right now as I'm looking to grow and scale. But one thing I'm soon to be adding as a project is taking on an AI platform that will allow us to build more automations natively within that tool. So then we
Cool.
can take the same thing and provide that to our clients as well.
And so you're building the AI platform?
Not building, it's essentially is a platform that we will be able to resell.
I see. And then what sort of what, is it like an N8N similar to that, or is it like Make? What's it like?
It has components of that. So the original instance of this was really, it gave you access to a lot of the different LLM models that are out there, kind of in one go. And they have, I did inquire, they do have like a few image generation models, but their primary focus is the LLMs, which is pretty much to date where most of our heavy AI usage has been, is using the various LLM tools out there to generate content, evaluate data. And last year, they in Q4 they added and released their own workflow automation component, so kind of like a make.com or N8N. So it allows us to have one singular platform to have access to multiple models and to do the automation right in there without having to pay for chat GPT or Gemini or Perplexity, and then separately have to go get a subscription to Make or N8N. So I think it's really going to streamline, and by bringing everything into one place and in one fee.
Wow. Yeah, that's an interesting innovation, and it's definitely something that's needed. Uh, what about some of the other initiatives that you're working on? You said some marketing initiatives. What's the marketing automation look like that you're doing right now?
So this was something I actually started on last year, and slowly as time has allowed to be working on it. My goal is to take a lot of the marketing content I have, and every month we get new material from vendors we work with, and to build an automation where I can just give the tools like, okay, here's the new content, here's what I want you to do, and it just knows, and basically you're going to build like virtual employees that do a very specific task, and as one completes, it automatically gets passed down the line to the next for refinement until it comes back for human review, and then we say, okay, great, go publish it.
Yeah, and so you've got a repository of content, and then you're going to be giving your content manager bot a directive, and then that bot's going to go trigger a bunch of activities. Is that the idea?
Essentially, and then once we have that one built, because that's the low-hanging fruit, the marketing one, then we can turn around and again use AI to help refine our prompts in terms of, okay, now we want to build one that says, okay, do customer service. So now we can then go build a customer service bot or employee that can answer a lot of the common questions we may get. So when clients are reaching out, okay, great, it knows these are the common things. Okay, hey, I need to reset my password. It can either walk me through, or if it's something that can't be automated right now, we can maybe hopefully automate it to help automatically open a ticket, or again, guide the client on, here's how you go actually submit that ticket.
And then, what's your thinking about what you're automating and what you're leaving to not be automated? What's your philosophy on that right
So I'm definitely the philosophy, if we can automate it and it's going to be effective, I want to do it. But right now I got to look at time and resources. Again, I'm operating solo, so there's only so much time I have right now to work on automating. But as I grow scale, definitely hire some resources that can help take a lot off my plate, or get someone who can, I can task with building the automation. but also balancing that against, what our vendors that we work with are going to be doing for us. Because I know the main vendor that we work with, their big focus this year is adding more automation to the tools and services they already provide us. So that's something that I'm looking at and really excited about to see. In fact, they do their big annual conference in April. So shortly thereafter, we should be getting like the next major announcement or their next release of what their new product is going to be for the year.
Yeah, that's good. That's it. That's exciting. I think we're in a really exciting time in terms of really getting specific applications for business development, for marketing, for operations in place and active, and getting some clients are getting real results from it that are actually ROIing. So I think this next year is going to be super exciting. For the small business owners that are still hesitant about AI adoption because they think it's too complex or too time consuming, how are you simplifying that process for those types of clients?
So one, I just tell people you got to just go experiment, go play with it. You can't break anything for the most part, especially if you're just testing a tool, especially if it's a marketing standpoint. It's not going to give you anything that's going to automatically publish. It's just going to give you content that then you choose what to do with it. But what I will say for anyone that is paying attention to kind of what's happening on social media, I know kind of like the latest trend or craze right now we're seeing is people creating with AI and basically like the caricature of themselves. It's like, hey, what you know about me, my business, create a caricature. So again,
Yeah,
you can start as simple as, jumping on stuff like that, just playing around. In fact, one thing we did in one of my networking groups is, just 2-3 weeks ago, one of our meetings, we completely pivoted because someone saw something when we were doing a screen share on one of our platforms and was like, hey, I want to know more about that. And we got in this whole conversation because even before this, it was all about, using ChatGPT and turning yourself into a plushie doll. So we got into that and actually got hands-on live. Okay, we pivoted and did like literally live hands-on AI training. So you can actually have a lot of fun with it and learn about it, figure it out. A lot of times I would say it's just you got to get in there and mess with it and see what it's going to do, how it reacts.
yeah, I like that. I would talk about it as simple as helping to plan your next vacation or road trip, or what you're going to have for dinner and how you're going to cook it, right? Like it's interesting to just get some help on some really basic fun things, uh, and then start to understand how to build custom GPTs and how to do prompt writing. And I think that's really the core of what the U.S. executive can get the most momentum out of AI right now, is by building out some custom GPTs for some of the recurring work.
Yeah, and I'll give another quick example of something I'm actually been working on today. I'm in the process of developing a presentation that I've been asked to give to one of my groups later this month. And
Nice.
I took a conversation, a phone call I had with the group owner, and then I had that transcribed and then fed that back into ChatGPT and said, okay, summarize this phone call. And then from there, it started going through, okay, here's what you need to do. And it went actually so far as it's actually along the way, it's actually coaching me how to build this and what to say to go from, not just a technical, but to more of a strategic advisor. So and again, a lot of this comes from, I've worked with my account for, quite some time. So it really has gotten to know me, my business, kind of my quirks, my likes. And so it starts to recognize it's how it can help me further, especially as they're releasing newer, more advanced and smarter models. So again, encourage you, even if you start with a free account, go establish that, build up some history, teach it about yourself and your business. Because I still know a lot of people that haven't done that yet. And I would say that's probably step
Interesting.
one,
Yep.
do that as a foundational piece.
Yeah, I like that, and I would recommend for people to go and at least spend the $20 a month for the paid version. That way, you have a little more privacy than on the free version. But yeah, I like that. The other
Well,
thing
even
that I
the,
really
even
like to,
the paid
oh, go ahead,
version,
sir.
I'll just say because you mentioned
Yeah,
that, if you really truly want the privacy, you got to upgrade to the business tier, which is more like $30 a user, and then you get more of the privatized instance on ChatGPT just for clarity for anyone who
yeah.
is. curious about that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and I think it's incumbent upon all of us to keep our ideas and our thoughts and our IP as safe as you can in what's a pretty dynamic security environment. Um, I like what you're doing with the presentation, and I will now go and build a notebook, LM notebook, as a high level first draft for research, and then build my presentations off of that. I think there's a lot of really exciting things that happen inside the notebook now, from voice, video, PowerPoints, summaries, those sorts of things.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot you can do with AI, and I've did several AI workshops. Mostly groups I participated in last year, and just some of the basic research. Just introducing people. Many people were surprised at the amount of different things you can do, such as you can have AI create a song for you.
Right. Yeah, it's pretty. It's limited by your imagination and by what you want to create. Well, David, what do you think? What's the kind of the one thing people should be thinking about for 2026 in terms of AI?
I mean, the biggest thing is if you're not currently using it, you should be using it because your competitors are, and they'll definitely leave you behind if you're not. But also, I always, think of it from also kind of like a cybersecurity perspective, and what it can do for your business or how it could potentially harm your business. So understanding that as well, I think is going to be a key piece as it continues to develop and becomes more central to every business that's out there. Because like I mentioned earlier, I started this quarter doing more outreach to the legal space, and never would have expected from almost the start that a lot of our conversations would center around AI and how law firms are starting to use AI to streamline their operations.
Right.
So there's definitely a trend of that going on as well in that space. So I would say the biggest takeaway is if you're not using it, you definitely should be by now.
All right, I like that. And David, if people want to get in touch with you, how do they find you in the world?
So we are on most of these social media platforms. So we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok. You can find us on our Google business profile, on the web, email. I mean, there's lots of ways that people can get in touch with us. Call, text.
All right. Well, we'll make sure that your information is in the show notes, and they'll be able to get a hold of you at ResTech Solutions. Thanks, David. I appreciate you spending some time with me today, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right. I appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, that's a great message, which is if you haven't started interacting with an AI tool, this is the time to do it. Start playing around with it, building some low-level tasks around things that you're interested in, research that you want to do. Find a tool like ChatGPT or Perplexity, and start learning how to interact via prompts and get some dirt time with AI tools that are at our disposal. I hope this conversation has been valuable for you today. I know it was for me, and I enjoyed talking with David Levine from ResTech Solutions. I also hope that you do take some time to work with an LLM or some other special purpose tools to help specific business situations, and that you figure out how it can help you save time, and that with that time you continue to upskill, that you spend that time with your friends and family, or that you get outside into nature and away from the screens. This is Emanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI. Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.